Hi wig wearers, so the wig showing continues and I'm not going to waffle, I'm just going to start and crack on. This one was from Shein. When I first got it, the curls were really greasy and horrible. I think they put a lot of silicone on it to try and hold it together and it just wasn't nice. I tried to straighten it and it went horribly wrong, and then I thought, what am I going to do, because I needed to save it somehow. So I did straighten it all the way through and then I recurled it so that it had looser curls rather than the really tight sort of messy greasy ones that it had before. I like the front of this because not only is it lace front with baby hairs, but it's got all these mini little plaits built into it, so it looks a little bit different. I've not decided whether I'm going to wear it as it is or whether I'm going to tie it back in some way. And it sits really nicely on the head, and as I say, it's got those bits there. You could probably cut those a little bit shorter if you wanted to, or you could just have them as a looser fringe. I've not decided yet what I'm going to do. I'll probably cut them a little bit shorter so that they're not hanging in my face. The lace itself, it is quite invisible, so it sits nicely on the head, and because it's a darker colour and not blonde, it doesn't matter so much if you can see your roots underneath it. It just looks like it's pulled to the scalp. I do love the style of it, but again, I'm not sure if this is too much. I mean, there's a couple of things I could do. I could take some of them out to thin it out a little so it's not quite as poofy as it is, or I could tie it either into pigtails. I also thought about plaiting it all the way through so it falls down in plaits instead. I'm not quite sure what I want to do with it, but I know that I want to keep it. I'm just not sure where I'll go with it from there. I've popped this on without a wig cap. If I had the wig cap underneath, you wouldn't see my hairline either. But it is one that you could put on without a wig cap if you wanted to, just because it does sit quite close to the head. I've managed to curl the ends so they don't look too scraggly, but again, that might just need a little bit of TLC to it. I'm thinking that perhaps the best plan of action would be to take some of the wefts out so it's not quite as bulky, rather than it just looking like a big ginger afro. If half of this weight was taken out of it, say that much, I think it would sit and look a lot nicer, but I don't know. We'll see. Bit of a project at the moment, not quite sure what I want to do with it. I'm now going to do what I should have done in the first place and put on my wig cap. I've no clue where this came from. It's probably Shein, or it could have been from Temu, I don't know. I just found it in my collection of wigs and realised that I hadn't even cut the lace on it. The lace is still intact at the front. I'm just going to give that lace a quick cut. Darkened roots, fades into blonde, has a bit of a wavy pattern to it, lace front. Well, that was a really nice surprise to find lurking among the collection. I was not expecting that at all. It's actually a really nice wig. The lace looks really good on it. The colour's really nice. It's a nice shade of blonde. It's kind of neutral. It's not too light, but it's not too dirty either. It's got kind of a very mid-tone to it. I don't know whether that shows up really well on the camera, but that actually looks really, really good on. Doesn't really shed much except for the bits where I trim the lace, but again, perfectly normal. Whenever you trim a lace wig, you get that. I do love the sort of tussled effect to it as well. It's definitely not one I knew I had. Don't know why. No clue why. I don't remember getting it, but there we go. I often forget which ones I've bought. It's quite bad, isn't it, when you have so many wigs that you don't remember buying them. But this is the point of me purging my collection at the moment. So there's a lot of them up for sale at the moment on places like eBay and Vinted and things like that. I'm trying to really limit what I buy now and keep it to the ones I know that I'll wear, and try and stream down the collection quite a bit. Pretty blonde. I actually found another unaccounted wig as well. This one also had the lace on, which I've taken off. It's kind of like a long brown wig. Looks like it's got some lighter pieces through the front. This one is very staticky, which I really don't like. I hate really staticky wigs. So I'm just going to spray it down with this wig spray to try and sort that out. Seems to have baby type hairs around the forehead area. Not quite sure what I think to this one. It's a nice wig, very poker straight. I do like the fact that the blonde is more underneath than on the top, because it looks really nice just poking out there. Makes it look quite natural, I think. which is always good with a wig. Might go on the goodbye pile, not really quite sure yet. This is a high quality synthetic. This is Prime Power by Ellen Will. The good thing about this wig is it's a hybrid between real human hair and synthetic, and the reason for that is it gives more of a look and a feel of human hair, but the synthetic means that it styles easier and keeps the style a lot easier as well, whereas human hair doesn't always. It's a really nice wig. It's quite adjustable. It probably will not look great straight out of the box because it has got that bit of human in. I'm not sure what I think to the colour. It is very yellow, so I don't know if it's me or not. But with it being half human, it might be possible to tone it, because although it won't tone the synthetic, it will probably tone the hair that isn't synthetic, so it might give it more of a mixed blonde look, which might be enough to tone it down. So I think before I get rid of it, I'll probably try that, because I like the wig itself. I'm just not keen on the fact that it's a little bit yellower than I would have liked. I also prefer my wigs to have a bit of roots, and there's not really a lot of root in it. Again, might be able to get away with adding a root to it, I'm not sure, but that's something I might think about. But the wig itself is really nice. It's very comfortable, easy to wear, quite a pretty wig. Moving on to another Chelsea Smith wig I got. This one is called Ambrosia. Lace front again, dark roots, which you know I like. Fades into this really nice colour. You've got some kind of like a white piece around the front, but then if you look through it, there's some blue and pink in there. It's very subtle. I do think these particular wigs benefit from a thinner wig cap, just because they're quite thick in themselves and they secure really well. Really nice style. It's got this sort of flippy fringe here, but that could be changed into different directions because it is what they call free part, which means you can put it wherever you like. So you could have a little bit of that white both sides. I say white, it's probably more of a pastel pink, I'd say, which is very unusual. And then you've just got that little bit of dark and colours through it. Very subtle, but really pretty. I do love the lace on these wigs as well, because it is so undetectable. If you weren't shining a bright light on it, you wouldn't even see it. I think this is possibly one of the favourite ones that I've tried so far from the brand, just because of the style. But there's quite a lot more for me to show you as well. You can probably tell by now, but I've got a little bit obsessed with this brand, and that's because the quality is amazing and they all just look so good on and make you feel good as well. But let's move on to the next one. This Chelsea one is called Wolfpack. It's in a really nice sort of cherry red. This is less thick than the other one that I was wearing, which is not a bad thing. It just means it sits a bit easier on the head. I do find that they do vary in thickness, which is fine. I'm quite happy with that. Long beautiful layers on this one. Now I don't know whether the previous owner did a little bit of snipping on this one, because it looks like it's got a slight fringe, or whether it just comes that way, because it does seem to be like a whole chunk of it, which makes me think maybe it came like that. But I think it's to give it a slight fringe. Again, very easy wear, beautiful colour. Feels quite light to wear, which I think is important if you're going to be wearing a wig all day as well. This would look really nice with a nice red lip, I think. Minimal makeup today, I'm afraid, because I've recently done a skin treatment, and when you do it you have to not wear makeup for a few days, so I got away with a bit of lipstick on my brows, and that's about it for now. Still a Chelsea one. This is called a Skylar, and the shade is Starlit Red. It's got peekaboo highlights underneath it. Now I'm not sure what it will look like with those highlights sticking out the bottom, so we'll have to see how that looks when it's on. The good thing is, because they are wefts, if you don't like them, they are easily removable. So we'll try it with the colour first and see what it looks like. This is called Starlit Red Rainbow because of the rainbow underneath. I really love the style of this one. So this is a Skylar, just in case you're looking for one. And that rainbow is just peeking out underneath there. I don't think that actually looks bad. I was worried that it would stand out quite a lot and that I just want to pull it off. But it's very subtle. It's just underneath, like a peekaboo. And I think that's fine as it is. It's only slightly longer than the actual shade, just so that it sticks out. but if it was on the back of your shoulders, you wouldn't see the rainbow anyway. So you can pretty much wear it whichever way you want without really needing to remove the rainbow. But again, the rainbow is removable if you decide that you don't like it. This Chelsea one is called Evans, and it's a petite. It's brown and it's got blonde highlights to it and a very dark root. Not sure if I like this one, but we'll see. With the petite, they are tighter than the usual ones. I can still fit in them happily, but I would probably wear it without the protective band attached, just because I don't think I need it that tight. But it is nice if you do want that security. I do have a similar wig to this in another synthetic brand that's a lot cheaper, and I do think that I'll be getting rid of that one in favour of this one, because this one is absolutely beautiful. I don't really need two that are the same, and so this will be the one that I keep above the other one. I think I've just got to find the other one out so that I can get rid of it. But that's the good thing, as I'm upgrading, I'm getting better quality ones. I'm getting rid of the cheaper ones as well. Not that there's anything wrong with the cheaper ones, it's just if I can afford to upgrade them I will, and then somebody else can benefit from the cheaper ones, and they've also been able to see what they're like. The other thing I really like about this brand is the quality of the synthetic. It is so soft. It really does feel like real hair, and the way they sit on the head, they don't have that horrible bulk at the top that make them look fake, which you do get with some of the cheaper ones. You can flatten them down with the straighteners, but it's so much easier when it comes out the bag ready to wear. This one was from Shein, and I have actually left the lace on this one because it's just a little pokey lace at the front, and I don't know whether I'm going to be keeping the wig, and so I've left everything on it just in case. Obviously if I like it I'll take it off. The thing that drew me to this one was the colour. I don't think I'll keep it because I've got nicer ones, and so that one I think is going to have to find itself a new home. Although I do like the layers in it, it's very pretty. This is one that I bought a few off an individual lady, and this one is actually human hair. I have had it tied up because, as I've said before, human hair does not sit very well unless you actually spend the effort to style it. It does say inside that it is human hair 100%, because what they don't tell you is human hair comes in different percentages, and they only need to have about 10% in it to call it human, which is a bit bad really when you think about it. But this is actually human hair all the way through. It feels so soft and nice as well. It's really nice quality. I like the fact it's quite flicky as well. Very natural, probably quite close to my real hair at the moment, which is good because when I decide to dye it and change the colour again, at least I'll have one that's similar. But yeah, it's very nice. You can see the shiny bits in it. This is where the colour's taken on it. I don't think it would have been the natural colour of the hair. I think it's been dyed this colour, but yeah, it's very pretty. This one I got from Wigs Fashion, and the whole reason I bought this is for part of a cosplay. So it will look like a wig because it's not very realistic looking. I thought when I saw it on the website it might actually look more real than it does. It's not too bad once it's on, to be fair. You can see the fringe is ridiculously long on me, so I am going to have to cut that. You can tell the difference in quality though, because it sheds quite a bit. Because it's a cheaper wig, you don't get so much of this with more expensive wigs, and so you know it's sort of more of a costume quality. So for the time being, that's still a bit of a project. Have another one here. I think this one was from Temu. Right, I've had a look. This one was from Temu, but I think that the brand is a Hair Cube one, because I remember there was a couple on there that were Hair Cube, and I've always liked Hair Cube wigs, but I prefer the lace fronts. The first thing I noticed about this wig is that it's quite heavy, which means it's got a lot of hair to it, which is not a bad thing, but it's just something to be aware of, that if you're buying it. It's straight brown. It does seem to have subtle highlights in it, and it's a lace front. And you can see how thick it is. Now, I did have to cut quite a bit back around here because it was very full in the front, which is good if you like a full forehead, but it was just a bit too much for me, and so I have cut it right back and I'm more comfortable with it now. And I like the fact that it's quite a neutral colour as well, so it's a nice easy one just to throw on and go, which I know is sometimes the goal when you're just in a rush and you just want to get out. You can see here where I've cut all the sides down though, just to make it a bit more comfortable to wear. You could, if I wanted to, still glue it down, but to be honest, I find I don't tend to glue them down. I'll just either put a comb in it to keep it in place, or sometimes just leave it as it is.